What is up, everyone? Welcome to Mechs on Deck. It's Monday. I'm Osiris. This is Chewy. How you doing?
Good, man. I'm good. It's been a relaxing weekend. What about you? You've had a rough one.
I had a rough weekend. I was not feeling great. I stayed up way too late on Friday night. But I was feeling kind of not great on Friday. Woke up Saturday and was like, I woke up probably around like 9 a.m. and I was just like, I feel like death. Took a shower, took a long hot shower, and was like, all right, I need to go back to bed. Went back to bed. Woke up at like 7 p.m. So was up for a couple hours and then went back to bed again and woke up on Sunday. So I'm good now. I'm good. But yeah. Ooh, Frothy KK. Thank you for the 9-month sub. Definitely appreciate that. 9 months. That is crazy.
We've had a child.
Dude, we are approaching a year of Mechs on Deck.
We're getting there, man. It's so conversations at this point in time last year were definitely happening a lot, but for those curious, it was halted because I moved last year in March and I was very much like, I'm not doing this and then moving everything. So we postponed it, but got it on the first day. Frothy KK, thank you, man. Yeah, because we start, for anybody new, we started on YouTube and grew that some, and then we were like, all right, let's switch to Twitch. Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
So it's been a fun ride.
It has been fun,
but
it's been a lot of fun.
So real quick, shout out to our sponsors. Dixie Mech. You can go to mechsondeck.dixie Mech, pick up GMK Modern Dolch Light. Sorry, almost forgot the light. Modal for short. Be sure to check that set out. That is going to be a must-have, in my opinion. It's a great neutral set. You get all the neutral keys, but you can also grab some fun pink and green keys, little kiwi action, strawberry kiwi action. So be sure to go check that out. And you can also be a part of the Dixie Dozen and get 20% off for a year on keycap sets. I'm sorry.
Key sets, yeah.
Mine's a little scrambled today. And then as well as Mech Madness, be sure to fill out your brackets. We've got about a week left, a little over a week. So be sure to check that out and get your brackets in. And then next up, switchmod.net/mechsondeck for 4% off all of your lube and springs. They've got some T60s still in there. I was just looking at it the other day and had to turn it off because I don't need another board right now. And then you can also do switchmod.net/Osiris or switchmod.net/Chewy to pick up GMK Metaverse last few days. I think he did say that they're going to include the different colored F-row keys in a Reddit post today. So you are going to be getting some extra caps.
Yeah, F5 through order. 8 will be available in white in the base kit. White.
So good, nice little change up, nice little addition. Set did really well. Be sure to, and then those codes get you $5 off the base kit. So if you have not gotten a base kit yet, be sure to do so.
Yeah, it's close to 1,000. Let's get it there. It's like at 930.
I think. Like that. Real close.
But next up we have Zap Cables. You go to zapcables.com, get some of the best cables in the business. Right now he is running what did he put one up today? I don't know if he did.
Free loops.
We are literally the worst, Jonathan. No, they are some of the best cables in the business. He's doing drops. They did the Fruity Loops cables as well as the like classic, the retro cables. I think they still have some of those in stock. So head on over, pick those up, check out his desk mats. Highly underrated desk mats over there. I think some of the largest desk mats in the business as well.
I'm excited. I got some because today is technically a holiday. I would have gotten my cables in today, but I got some Zap cables,
Ooh,
so I'm excited. I'll probably show them off on stream tomorrow. So
there you go. I still need to pick up some detachables. I need one like you have where you can change it out between USB-C and mini.
helpful
Yeah.
is what that is.
I've got this coil cable on my desk that is not a Zap cable. My Zap cable that I made is actually at work. I use it every day. It's great. I don't like coiled cable that I have because I don't like the coil. But yeah, so go to Zap
Down with
Cables
the coils.
and get what you want. If you want coils, you can get them. If you don't want coils, you don't have to have them. And then last but not least, you can go to Project Keyboard, mechsondeck.project.link, pick up GMK Perestroika. Pretty cool looking set, very unique with the alphas. It's a really cool set. Check that out. Pick it up. Helps us out if you use any of those links. Gives us a little kickback. Helps us keep this up and running.
Yeah. And then we're keeping a little secret right now. We've got a 5th sponsor on the way.
Yes, we do.
We do. So we'll be keeping an eye on that because you'll get some fun codes. We'll probably be talking about that Wednesday, my dudes. So be sure to check that out. Tomorrow I'll be building the wild card by Homero with some phase switches. So be sure to check that out tomorrow, as well as Slee keyboards or Sleek. I don't know what it is. It's like his username's Sleek, but it's Slee keyboards. I imagine it's supposed to be like Sleek keyboards, like share the K. But yeah, so he'll be joining us Wednesday talking about his website. So be sure to check that out. Both of those 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let's get into some keyboard. Well, no, let's get into some mail first.
Mail first. All right, you want to go first because yours is more.
I'll go for. I have mail for you, but you were dead this weekend, so I couldn't meet up with you.
Yeah, we were supposed to meet up, and I was not feeling good, and was like, I hope I don't have the flu, so I'm just gonna be by myself today. But yeah, let's move on over. All right, Chewy, what you got for us?
So we got more lilacs for Osiris, as well as mobs for Osiris.
So
we'll probably see some. We'll probably see some fun builds here soon. Maybe a hot swap build, trying them both out. I'm just signing you up for stuff that you haven't agreed to.
So, maybe we could do that. We could do trying out the mauves and the lilacs.
So yeah, those two, and then I got Mizu novelties, but they're all already packed away, like in the board. So that's I would have the cables, but obviously those will be tomorrow, and I will show them off. That is it for me on mail day.
All right, I guess I'm up. All right. For me, well, this is also for myself and for Chewy. So this week earlier, big shout outs to Kinnick, I believe is who it was, posted that the Amazon warehouse was doing a like 20% off sale this week or this past week. And I thought it was just on like PC parts, but it ended up being on like everything that they had. And so Chewy and I did some digging, and we found some pretty crazy deals on some new cameras. So both Chewy and myself got an additional Sony camera to use for when we stream builds. So little upgrades for the stream. Very excited. So we've got a ton of cameras now, 4 between both of us.
Yeah, we talked a lot about it, which shout out again to Kinnick, because we were just talking about how we've been talking about lenses forever, because the fun thing about that no one tells you about keyboard streaming is that keyboard streaming is like 10% actually building the keyboard, and like 80% lighting, and then the other 10% with cameras and lenses and all that crap. And I say crap, like I defer all my knowledge about cameras to Eric. But so yeah, it's been fun. We'll be doing some. We plan on using some for some future content as well, being able to do lots of different moving stuff. And yeah, it was to we just talked to him. It was like, this is an opportunity to get a huge upgrade for like nothing, because they're also like used, because everything in the warehouse is typically stuff that's been like restocked or it's sent to someone and returned. And so it was just like, all right.
Yeah, it was. Those are cameras that we got for basically half off with everything, which was pretty insane. Um, Very excited to get that up and running, to be able to have full quality with both cameras, both the top down and the face cam during the builds. Hopefully it looks a little bit better overall. And then we've got some really fun stuff planned with all of our cameras for the Mech Madness recap episodes in March. So
Cannot wait.
that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. It just shout out to you guys. Thank you. Your support was the reason we were able to do this. And we wanted to take that money and put it back into the stream for upgrading. So we could not have done that without y'all. So thank you very, very much. Last but not least, I guess on our little showcase, we're going to KeyCon. Be sure to let us know if you are going to KeyCon. That's just something we're going to be hyping up for the next 5 months. We want everyone to Clavier's going. Dang, that's a flight. You should have come say hi, dude.
Have to hang out with Clavier.
Heck yeah, man.
I was gonna say we
2020.
I was gonna say we can get a beer, but I don't know if he's actually able to drink in America. Jason is flying you in. Damn. That's awesome. Bro, you're 24. Okay, cool. We're gonna get a beer. All right. I didn't know.
Hey, better to under than over.
Yeah, at least I didn't say you were like 35 or something. But no, so today we're talking about some new keyboards, but not just new keyboards, but specifically keyboards that are like innovative.
Change ups.
Yeah, they're creative keyboards. They're doing things that we haven't really seen before, or doing something that we've seen in a new way.
Yeah, it's the boards that we're getting right now, or that we're starting to see, because if you think about on like kind of moving back in time, there was a lot of concern, especially like 7-8 months ago. I remember talking about this a lot in our Discord about it's kind of getting stale. It's Tofus and Klippas, and it's hard to. I mean, specifically just going off of 60%, it's really hard to design something unique, because it's just a box. It's just a tiny little square, and then you have, we've seen this kind of revolution of 75%, which is awesome. I know Cyrus has been a huge fan of 75%, because really before last year, there's the Singa KBD 75 and the TX 75 / Lin, not Lin, whatever that one was.
Yeah.
I'm going blank on, because it's like they all have different letters. But yeah, so we've seen this huge revolution of that, and the 65%, especially in the last 6 months as well. We've seen a lot of really good ones. Garbage layout, but the case is nice. And so we've been lucky to see that, but then you start kind of seeing, okay, well, what's popular right now? It's gaskets and top mount. Those are the two, I would argue, the two most commonly used boards. We're seeing the Tofu switch to top mount. We're seeing, from away from integrated plate and tray mount. And so I think people started going, well, where do we go now? And we're starting to see that with some of these boards. So we've talked about it before. We can start with the Evolve because you like 75%. We've talked about the last 2 interview streams, but we haven't really given our thoughts on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the Geek Hack link to the interest check in the chat right now. The Evolve is probably one of the most unique looking boards, and that's not even talking about the plate, which we'll get into. But it's one of those things like if you look at it from the top, you're like, oh, this is cool. Oh, it's got a knob. You see the little hints of like a Satisfaction 75, but it doesn't have the screen. So okay, rotary encoder, cool. And then you turn it around, you look at the back, and you're like, what the hell is going on here? So it's got one of the most unique backs I have seen on a board. I've never seen anything like this.
Unique is the perfect word for it.
I think it looks really cool. I don't know what the structural, like what they were going for, like what the actual inspiration was for the way they chose to do it. But to me, it looks like something from Venom, the Spider-Man villain. It looks like something from that style. I don't know. I think it's awesome. I do wish the top was a little bit more had a little bit more going on. Like I feel like the top itself is a little bit more boring than the back. So it's quite a shock, but overall I think the board is insane looking from behind. Insane looking.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. It's in what this board's going for, and I'm not sure what the thought process of if there's a structural function. I'm just kind of reading this. I don't know other than it says it can support a truck. I want to see a video of that. But I guess what's the from a design standpoint, cool. Like I see what you were going for, and I think you achieved it. From a like functionality, like this board seems to go from like we went for a functionality aspect of design to whatever this back is. I guess just to be unique. It's really cool. I like the layout. Honestly, the knob's pretty cool. Like looking top down, I'm like, I would get that. I don't even really care about the knob. The reason I didn't like in the Satisfaction is I don't like the screen. I think the screen was just not for me. It looks cool, but it wasn't for me. But this top down, I'm like, hell yeah, I would totally grab that with a knob. I love grabbing knobs, so but
Yeah, and the
I guess I'm just confused.
well, when you look at it from like a structure standpoint, I guess like who is it that's saying it? Perez is saying that it was designed with machine learning software. I don't know if that was the plate or the bottom. I thought it was the plate that was designed with that. But either way, the bottom, if you think about it from a structure standpoint, like think about how different bridges are held up, things like that. Like it's going to be structurally sound with the distribution of weight and those key points.
I still want to see a truck drive over it.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. What is up, Javon? How you doing, my dude? The
Mechs around decks. I like that.
This is definitely one of those things that I would not purchase, as Pluto just said, without seeing a prototype first.
Proof of concept.
Yeah, we really need that proof of concept before we can get into it. What I find interesting is that the rotary knob is listed as a joystick. So I wonder if it's going to have additional functionality like an actual joystick. Like, is it going to be able to move like a joystick as well?
If it can move like a joystick, then could you potentially set it up as a mouse?
That'd be dope.
Like that would be cool. What's
Eight-way directional?
Yeah, that would be unique and 8-way direction. Yeah, that could be fun. You could play like old school like NES games.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I need this to be in full, like I need to put dual shot on it, and I need there to not be a knob option but an actual joystick option where I can get
You
a
just put
replica of a PlayStation 1 um controller, of a DualShock controller on there. That would be sick.
that'd be insane. It's like I don't remember who made it. I think it was Xbox, where they made like well, I guess there's the adapter, but they also, maybe it was Mad Cats. If anybody had a Mad Cats controller, that's because you threw your Xbox controller on the ground too many times and you had to go to Walmart and buy one. But they would have like the Xbox controller that like has a keyboard on it. I'm like, when are we gonna get that, guys? Come on, like waiting to be impressed. Um, so it's unique, and this is something I'm going to probably say 100 times, but like this is what's going to push the community further. We can't make a Fiel and a TX60 and a Key Colt number 2 and insert popular Rama board here. We can't just keep making those and expect it to sustain. We need new things like this to come out, and so it's unique. This is definitely for somebody. I'm sure there are a few people that saw this and shit themselves.
Yeah, and with talking about shitting yourself, let's talk about the plate. So this has the most aggressively different plate that I've ever seen. We've seen some things change it up. Things like the Austin with the relief cuts, the Iron 165 with the different relief cuts throughout it. This is on a whole nother level. Like if you look at it, things aren't connected certain places where you would assume that they need to be. If you know nothing about structure, you know nothing about force and the way that it works, you look at this and you're like, that's not going to work. That plate, it doesn't necessarily scare me because I'm assuming that the people that Nathan, who is designing this, is much smarter than I am and understands how force works a lot better than I do, and understands the metal, the capabilities of it, and the capabilities of what the plate can take without breaking. If that works out, this could be huge for the way that we do plates and how they're designed and the possibilities of them. It could add a whole nother level to what we know from a metal plate. You know, we may not have to move to a different material. We could do different metals and do something like this and get a different feel.
Yeah, and the other, I know the first thing you look at is, oh, that's not going to, oh, that's going to be like, you look at backspace, to you backspace only option. Sorry, that's my one big critique about this board. But you look at backspace, you look at right shift or left shift, they're like, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. I'm like, well, it's metal, so it's going to work if you treat it with care. Some people go, oh, it's going to break when you put it in. Well, I don't know how who's just sitting there punching the plate trying to put switches in the board. So I think, once again, the plate alone should be enough reason for you to be thing without seeing proof of concept. But what they're going for is that no matter where you touch on the board, it's going to feel the same. There are definitely hot spots when it comes to keyboards or keyboard plates. So I understand why this is a desire. But yeah, I mean, like you said, this could blow open the door of possibilities, but it could also be a giant failure. So
Yeah, I mean, and that's, even in he's very upfront with it, of like he's gone through 50 designs of this plate, and then he's planning on probably going through another 50 designs before he gets to the final one. So I'm assuming he's going to do some pretty intense prototyping of this because I think it needs it. It definitely needs it.
Yeah, I believe it's 50 designs of the plate because he's trying to achieve a very specific goal. Um, so I mean, this is like I've talked about how they're my three tiers. There's custom mechanical keyboards, high end mechanical keyboards, and luxury mechanical keyboards. Um, this is like novelty mechanical keyboard, in my opinion.
Well,
This is like
this is like
this isn't
min
anything
maxing.
else.
This is
Yeah,
maximizing the keyboard
this is
experience.
the niche. Like you're in that corner of the keyboard hobby of like, oh, you went down that dark path. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, this is a board that I feel like we've always said that you could really start anywhere. Um, if someone who is brand new bought this board as their first board, I would be like, maybe get something that's not as aggressively different first.
yeah,
Like
this is not for the I came from a tofu.
um,
So, but let's see how it goes. This is a board I think a lot of people are going to be keeping their eyes out for, just to see proof of concept, just to see how it works. I'm excited to see because this could be a game changer or this could be a laughing stock. It's just I good luck to the guy because I want to see it work. I would never wish someone fail.
yeah, I think, and people are talking about how, like I see Pluto asking 50 designs of the plate. Yes, because he's using it. It's all computer generated. Thank you, Delphin, for gifting Clavier a sub, or Clavier. I don't know, however you want to say it. I like saying Clavier. It's more elegant. um, but it's done through machine learning. So he can change it up. He can make small changes to make the force correct in. Oh man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Clavier, for the 5 gifted subs. Awesome. No air horn. We changed it up. We got the Dixie
Slap at the base.
slap at the bass, and with the horn's still there. If it gets triggered tonight, which hopefully it does, it could pop back up.
Yeah. But Rantics, Stupak 62, Penguin Droppings, Javon, and Fat Chance. You got a free sub thanks to Clavier. Yes.
Welcome to the Soupy Squad.
Welcome to the Soupy Squad. I think it's really cool. I think like I was saying, it could do great things for the community. I really want to see this protoed out. I want it to be in its final form. And I think once we get that and we see it's actually come to life, I think it's going to be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's not a better time for this board to happen because of how successful the Satisfaction 75 was, and it's like super hot right now. Like people were like, there was a guy that was trying to trade a Satisfaction 75 for a key colt, and like they're selling for like $1,000. They're great boards. I don't know if it's necessarily worth $1,000. I don't know. I haven't used one. Maybe
it's worth to it's worth to whoever deems, oh, I want a Satisfaction 75,
yeah.
and I've got 3 key colds. Sure, I'll get rid of one.
Yeah, this one has a
specific case,
similar aesthetic, not anywhere near like the same thing. I'm not saying that, but the similar aesthetic with the knob. This being a joystick, so having a little bit more functionality, as well as the plate in the back are just nuts. This board is just probably one of the most insane boards I have ever seen.
Yeah, we have not talked about the Bella, but I want to move to
So high
probably the one I'm interested in the most. Not personally, as in like I would want it because garbage layout, but it is the Lodestone. Is very interesting. Very unique in the feel. So at the end of the day, it's a 65%. We've seen this before. It's got the little top logo badge, but with no badge. So I guess they just like having one less key.
Designed by our buddy Jay over at Top
Jay,
Clack. Don't
Mr. TC.
him and Flex, who did the FLX Virgo, the like split TKO. It's like an Alice TKO almost.
Mhm. So this board is meant to be all about that flex. So if you look at that link, there's actually a video of him like testing how this is going to work and what they're trying to achieve. Um, so top corner is under construction. Well, there you go. So you know, okay. So that's I'm glad that that's obviously we're seeing early designs. But this is a very interesting concept because we're using even more items now to get things to work properly. So magnets plus flex plus gasket equals, I guess, just squishing your board down. This is another one I'm really excited to see physically work. I want it to work. Also, nice ICP reference, but I'm really excited to see if this works because there are people that love flex. I am not one of them, so this board is not for me because I was talking the other day and I was like, I just want to make a stainless steel integrated plate so that there's just I could punch it and it would still not bend. Um, I like a stiff feeling in the board, and so this is not for me, but this innovation can push how we design a lot of boards that are trying to be flexy. We've seen PCBs added with flex. We've seen, half plates to give you more of a flexible feel. And this is just tacking onto that extra flex.
Yeah, and this one is really interesting to me. And Geo, you can correct me if I'm wrong with how this is done. So it's magnet on the bottom, so for the down press, and then the top is a gasket mounting. So it's the plate is 100% isolated as long as you don't bottom out the magnets, which I feel like would be very hard to do.
Challenge accepted.
They're gonna be strong magnets, I would assume. But it is isolated. Magnets glued to the plate, so you would have to bottom out the magnets on the bottom for it to physically touch, and then gasket is just on the top. So whereas the Evolve went for the more, let me change the plate design for even feel across the board, this is going for, let me just let the whole plate move evenly across based on your key press. So it's going to feel similar based on the force that you put on, not necessarily based on like science, more or less. I mean, it's still science, but it's not like it's not in the same way as the Evolve plate where it's testing the key presses to making sure that they're even across the board for a normal typing experience. This is doing it based off of, if you press with your index finger is naturally going to be stronger than your pinky, right? So it's gonna flex more than it would in other places, but still provide a cushioned and hopefully even feel across the entire board. I think this is really cool.
I think it's cool. My one thing now, obviously, keyboards are meant to be typed on, but I just imagine sitting there gaming and you're holding W, and you're just like, you're just sitting there holding W while you're trying to game, like, and then just sitting there bouncing up and down because while it's a keyboard, it's not meant to, it's keyboards don't have they have to type. They're there to type. They're not designed to hold W forward, or hold W down the whole time. So that's one thing that off the top of my head, I was like, like I'm curious to know, and I guess you could say the same thing about flexible boards in general, but I guess with this one because there's more things happening.
We had
Talk
ABB.
Charles.
See,
Thank you
you
very
can't
much.
you can't hear the text to speech, but I can, and it was we had a baby.
We had a baby. So that will be interesting. And two, I'm sitting here while you were talking, I was thinking about like when are we gonna get to the point where someone just builds like gets really thick bump ons and just puts them on the bottom of a relief cut PCB? Just builds that. It's like, oh, maximum flex.
Well, so the thing about this one that's more exciting to me personally than the Evolve is that from a manufacturing standpoint, magnets are significantly cheaper than the machining that it will take on the plate for the Evolve.
Yeah.
If this provides an awesome and unique typing experience and it does it achieves the goal, it's going to make non-metal plates even more popular, so carbon fiber like is what it's planned to use here. It's going to make those way more popular, and it's going to be a cool typing experience. And magnets, while these, depending on how powerful they have to be and what they need to be made out of, can be significantly cheaper than having to machine that plate to have all those different cuts in it the way that it needed to for the Evolve.
I just imagine, like, I don't actively wish that this happens because that would be terrible. And Jay's a great guy, and I wouldn't want him to have to deal with anything. But I just imagine accidentally getting an extra strong magnet. And they're like, I can't put this fucking case together. You're just sitting there, just like, this was supposed to be extremely flexible. This thing is springing back at me.
Dude, when are we gonna get like air cushions? Like when is it gonna be like Nike's gonna get into the mechanical keyboards and they're gonna use their air
mask? Get some boost. Just start harvesting EQTs.
I mean,
just fill it with boost.
Poron is pretty dang close to boost. So,
can someone? I'm looking for the Bella. I remember seeing this, but I did not link. Who asked for the Bella? That am I late?
Pumps, Geo. That would be awesome if you could pump up
shocks,
the board.
Or shocks, Nike shocks.
Dude, like how much flex do you want, and you can just pump it up. That would be dope. Or what's there's a shoe that actually got banned in the NBA like last year because it was actually proven to increase your vertical by like 2 inches.
It's like the new they're trying to ban the new Nike Vaporwave shoes.
Oh, really?
They're like too good, and they're like it's like insulation they use in like rocket ships. They're like, yeah, that's what the sole's made of, and people are like, yeah, it's like every record's been broken in the last year, every long distance record.
Dude,
Vaporfly, thank you, Upas.
All I'm saying is they must have been wearing those at that dunk competition this past weekend because those dunks were nuts. If you haven't watched it and you care at all about basketball, watch the dunk competition. It was crazy.
So, but yeah, Lodestone. I hope it goes well. I'm excited to see it work.
Aaron Gordon was robbed.
And overall, good luck. I'm excited to see this board do really, really well, and we've seen great stuff from Jay already. So I expect nothing less.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is one that I'm probably more enticed to get in on than the Evolve. Just because I feel like this looks really cool. It's a little bit safer in my opinion. And magnets. How do they work?
How do they work?
So
do we want to let's do the kind of keyboard. This is a cool.
The Con 1. The Con 1.
Conon. If you were looking, so you can get the board by Clavier, the blade, the Keeb blade. And just, I don't know, maybe try and attack someone, or you can get this and legitimately slit someone's throat with it. Because these corners are insane. This board looks so cool, so like unique. It's so plain, but it stands out.
Yeah,
It's
super.
not rewriting the wheel on anything other than the.
Yeah, so we went from one that uses magnets to detract from each other to keep the plate separated from the bottom. This uses magnets to keep the board together. So this one's really cool. It's a really, really cool, unique design. We've seen things that have this similar style of design, but not this aggressive. Exactly, Beadlocks. It's like taking the Curious 60 and making it more evil. It's like taking a Fiel and being like, we're making this bitch sharp.
Pretty much. I mean, this literally, like,
This?
I want to
Keep up
get
the good
one
springs,
and then
my
just like
guys.
swing at my leg at it and it does some damage.
Tyson, thank you for the 5-month resub. We appreciate you, my dude. Hope you are doing well. This board, I believe it is manufactured by Salvin. I don't know if that's still the case. That was the case initially on the IC. I know that they were working on that. I don't know if it's still done by him. But that is huge. That means it's going to be manufactured to a very high level of spec if it is still done by him. It's going to have, he does really good CNC stuff. He does really good work. If you've seen any of his caps that he does, he's a stickler about quality. He did the caps for the Linus Tech Tips Bauer video. Those brass caps were done by him. So this thing's pretty nuts. Pretty freaking cool looking.
It's crazy. I like that it's magnet because I try to keep I feel like I've been cursing more and more in the last few months. But I fucking hate unscrewing cases. It fucking drives me insane just sitting there over and over. Oh my fucking, like, it's so I had an issue, a self-imposed problem that I didn't realize was self-imposed until I really got into the nitty-gritty with the Austin. This was just a soldering problem that I made. That I found out, or I literally had to unscrew it like 5 different times. Get a wow stick. I'm imagining that's the mechanic or the electric one. Still, I hate it. That's why when we've talked about programming PCBs, it's like the first thing you should do is figure out where you're going to get your reset key so you don't have to open it back up, especially like on a tray mount. Like the second I was done with my Fiel build, I popped it out and made sure it worked in VIA. And then I was like, okay, I never have to deal with this again. But yes, reset keys. But I love that it's magnets because you can kind of dig into it. Easier to clean as well. It'd be cool to start seeing more and more people do this.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like it is still done by Salvin, so it's going to be nuts. It's going to be super high high quality. Also, underrated, super cool thing, the really long strips for the bottom instead of just like little tiny bump-ons, because those little tiny those long strips work out so much better. They hold the board in place a lot better. Uplas is hashtag team bump on. I'm not. I move my board around a lot, so like the bump ons on my Sirius are like half gone already.
It's all good. I have like 400 bump ons. You can't buy bump ons. Every group buy runner has extra bump ons. I don't care what they say.
That's very true.
You have to buy like 400. If you're buying, you get a sheet of like 100, and you have to buy like 5 of them. So cheat coasters, I love it.
But Con 1 definitely cool. I think it opens pretty soon, or is it already done? I don't remember. Um, I know that I know Clavier's been hyping it up. I know he's pretty good buddies with a guy that's um, running it. It's already gone. Okay. Well, unfortunate. But if you got in on it, congrats. If not, hopefully they do a
and
round two.
we're not, this is not a review of you should go buy this. The overall concept of this is the fact that we're pushing things forward. We're doing different things. In the last month and a half, I've seen a lot of cool stuff being done that's just abnormal. That's going to push people to think, well, if I don't do something different, then I need to change up. So
let's move on to some that are actually running right now. So the first one we're going to talk about. This one's probably of what we've talked about my least favorite, and that's going to be the Luna.
So this is a 60% aluminum. It has I'll call it an industrial look, kind of a gearbox. It's unique, that's for sure. I like that they used the HHKB space for some extra. I mean, I'll be honest to say it just looks like a butt, but like they used it for a design. It just kind of looks like a peach. But I like that they use that space. They kind of went. It's very minimalistic outside of the screws, but it's unique. I'm imagining that. Does it say? I assume it's just flat.
It's not.
It's not.
So that's the other thing. So this board, Mentally actually built one on stream last week, I believe. Okay. It's a pretty low angle, 5 degrees. I think they missed out a lot. The renders that are on the website don't show something that's very important. I think the most aesthetically pleasing part of this board is the bottom. #key butts. We want to see those butts. The board has a pretty bottom. And none of the renders on the website, the purchase website, show the bottom. So, excuse me, if you want to see that, I just linked that Imgur link that has pictures of the bottom. The sides look really cool, the way it kind of fades into that more aggressive styling. I really like. Board is very expensive, as Javon just got into. From the looks of the top, it makes the board on the top does not look like it should be as expensive as it is, in my opinion.
For what you get and what you're I mean, it's a unique design. We're starting to see more and more 60% sell in that 350 range. I mean, the M60 was sold in that range. 340, I believe, is where it started. 320 or 340, where it starts, and then you can add on. But you kind of look at that and go, well, that's an M60. Where is this TX60 is a thing, but what's making this on par with that? And personally, to me, I mean, it's when you go for that aggressive of a design, you're taking it's kind of big risk, big reward. If people like it, great, you did an awesome job, and you're going to sell a bunch of them because people might like this layout. But with that aggressiveness can also backfire, and people might not like it.
Yeah, I think we're in the time where the like a lot of boards are going for the no screws look. Everything is contained within, like there's no, the sides are clean, the top is clean. This has that stacked look. It looks more like a stacked acrylic board or stacked which personally I'm not a big fan of on a board that is this expensive. One thing that Chewy and I were talking about earlier before we started when we were looking over this is that I personally think that this would benefit a lot from having a different colored for those hex screws on the top if they weren't just silver. If those were like a brushed aluminum or like different color, which you could obviously do that. Like you
throw them in the anno.
Yeah, you could find that. But I think if those were a brushed aluminum, it would look much better and would look a lot closer to what the actual design was from inspired by, I guess.
Yeah, it's good luck to it. I think, if you're looking, if you kind of missed out, like this gives me some thermal vibes. Very compact. I like it. I'm sure it's dense. It's got a hot swap PCB included in it. So
my only thing is that
good
hot swap
entry.
PCB is the one with north facing LEDs.
Yep, that'll do it. For those who don't know, north facing, basically that means the switch is mounted upside down. And when you get a cap specifically on the third row, so your enter row on a standard ANSI layout, those caps are really shallow. And so if you're pressing down and the switch is upside down, the actual cap will the base of the switch before it, as opposed to just not touching it. So not only are you going to not completely bottom out the switch, we haven't seen it to where it like damages the cap. I don't think, unless you're sitting there slamming on it, I don't think you'll ever damage the cap or the switch, but it does sound different. And you can run into actuation problems if for whatever reason the switch is, closer to a bottom out. So
Yeah,
it's something to look at.
And the one really cool thing about this is that he lists here that it's not technically a group buy. I think he has a set amount that he's already ordered. So those will be shipping. He says hopefully mid-March. I'm going to assume that's probably going to be delayed to, let's say, maybe May, because China is still closed.
But yeah, this is more of a pre-order.
Yeah, so the units have already been ordered, so it is a finite amount that are available. So if you like it, go ahead and pick it up. It's
the one thing I'm curious about, maybe don't know enough, stainless steel bottom insert versus frosted acrylic.
So if you look
the
at
exact same price, I guess I didn't. Am I missing?
It's
where it says why they're the same price.
It doesn't, but it's not for. I linked you the Imgur link where you can look at the pictures of the bottom. So it's like the weight. It's not the actual.
It's just the little bottom corner.
No, there's like it goes across the entire bottom.
Pictures.
So that can be acrylic or stainless steel.
Yeah. Oh.
That's why I'm saying they need to. He needs to have the renders of the bottom in the group buy page.
Mm-hmm.
Like, put those in there. The bottom looks so much cooler than the rest of the board, in my opinion.
So, but a numpad, see, that's cool if it like geared in, which I'm assuming that's what they're going for the numpad attachment. If it was just like that would be unique. Next up, this is a board that it's been out for a while. This idea has been out for a while, but I'm really excited because you can get these. But the TX EO 87. So this is the frosted version. So this is a TKL, standard TKL. You can get. So I'm just kind of throwing here because weight. Most people are not wanting to spend. It's $300 if you get a brass weight brass plate in the color white. But if you're looking for something that's just like, I want, a TKL aluminum plate, don't really care about the frills, and if you don't mind the acrylic, this is great. $200 plus shipping. This is a great buy. This is something that I want to see more people doing. Which is companies that sell higher end products start offering lower end options. So in my opinion, TX is doing this is brilliant for them because they already sell great boards, but they're on the more expensive side. And now they're like, okay, well, you can also go get this line. And the other thing too is TKLs are hard to come by for that cheap.
Yeah.
So
Super cool looking board. Like it gives you like it almost looks like a TKL sitting inside of a giant ice cube.
yep.
um if you're into RGBs, this is the board for you. Like at the end of the day, this thing looks pretty freaking cool. Um it that frosted, just the pictures that they have, and that's one thing that I love that they did is they actually have true like the protos up with the pictures of it. Like Beadlocks just said, the RGB looks great. Like if that is the aesthetic you want, it's gonna look so good with that. And it's only $185 if you get FR4 with the acrylic bottom. Like,
I mean,
come on.
even getting a brass plate, which is what a lot of people love, with an acrylic bottom, 220. Like I would have gotten that over the KBD 8X, hands down. Plus, it comes with. I'm sure it comes with a case.
Yeah, it comes with a TX medium case.
Yeah, which and it comes with a case, comes with a cable, microfiber cloth because why not? Like this is dope. Like this is just cool. That's like a much better deal than most things in this community. If you're just going for something like, oh, there are a lot of people I feel like who would spend $150 on a razor. Now, granted, this doesn't come with caps and doesn't come with switches, but if you're like, hey, you know, I know you like RGB, I know you like your rainbow boards and all that stuff. For you can get out of the door for under 350 for a custom TKL in this hobby
And it has
with
handles.
GMK caps and handles, and it being a TKL. I think it's ridiculous. You would run into some bottom row problems, but I mean, there are a lot of caps that can go with that too that are inexpensive. I mean, if you go for the cheapest option plus, an EPBD set, you're looking at, if you got some really cheap switches, almost under $300 for a completely built caps and switches TKL, which is insane.
Yeah, and I remember when we first started the channel, one of the first episodes that we had when we had I think it was when we had Quakems on, and we were talking about how we want to see manufacturers or companies that are known for higher end products bringing in products that are at a lower price, because they bring in their design expertise, they bring in the capabilities that they have, and they can apply that to a lower price, and it makes it better for those people that are just getting in. Like honestly, if I was looking for a board and I'm brand new, one, this is easy to get into because it's a TKL. I mean, granted, yes, it's win keyless, but most keycap sets are going to support that. Most standard keycap sets will support
Especially
that.
nowadays.
But $185, chances are good if you're just starting. It has a win key version as well. Yeah. So if you're just starting, $185, that's nothing. You know, when you compare it to like a 60%, like a tofu or something, you're spending a little bit less, but you're not getting as many keys as you're used to. It's a bigger transition from a full size to that. TKL, this is great. Great to have at work, maybe for video games. Granted,
A
it
good
has
gift to someone if you're like wanting to spend a bunch of
yeah.
gift, that's an expensive gift, but still, it's this is what I want to see. This is the other way. We've seen like, let's get innovative with the Evolve and the Lodestone, and where it could be expensive, but let's innovate. But let's also go the other way, and let's start pushing for more inexpensive boards that are high quality, that are made by these people that know what they're doing and have proved they know what they're doing for a long time now. And let's see what they can do for a minimum entry point.
Yeah. And this board, telling you now, this board is going to slay on Reddit. Pictures with that RGB on.
Karma up.
Dude, get all the karma. If you want to farm some Carva. If you want to farm some karma, $200 investment right here. you getting some pretty high upvotes guaranteed with the EO87 because this thing is pretty. It's
I'm
pretty
just
cool
excited,
looking.
and I want, we've talked about this before. I want like Rama to make something. I know people have asked about the Key Colt. Key Colt doesn't need to make anything. They're so high up on their luxury boards. Not this is a bad thing. There is no reason, because they're going to put the same amount of effort of quality control into everything they do, and something that makes them 5 times as much. It's not cost effective for them to like just pump out like a Clippa and be like, look, we designed this. Like that's I know those guys, they're not going to do something like that because they want to, once again, have you seen the number 2? Like
Well, they want to
they want to push
maintain their
things forward.
brand. It's their
Yeah, and
brand, right?
there's no point in throwing in extra boards to make people happy.
Yeah. Whereas this is a venture off the standard TX line. And TX has done a lot of stuff. When he opened his store last year, he's got a storefront in Korea. He has boards in stock. His goal is to be more of a actual, or at least I don't know if he's necessarily ever said this, but it looks like his goal is to be more of a actual store, have things in stock, keep them there, do regular runs for things. And it's really cool to see him branch off into things that are maybe lesser expensive, a little bit more creative on the design. And honestly, of the offerings that have been released so far, like I wasn't a big fan of the round 2.
The crystal, or the round 2, like
Yeah, the TX
recent ones, the V2s.
The V2s, I wasn't a big fan of those. I didn't like this, but this is my favorite. So that he's come out with this year so far.
The TX75 was the only one that I liked, but I no longer am in love with that board. So it's not to say that any of the stuff is bad. I think the argument can be made that we're stuck in our ways of like, we like the TX60 original and we don't like change, and like some people just don't like change. Like So I think he's just trying to do something different, because it would get really old selling the exact same thing over and over and over without design. I mean, Key Colt could totally stop doing anything and just make the exact same 3 boards over and over, but they're not going to. They're going to keep doing stuff because they would drive themselves crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think I want to see where this goes. I want to see if there's going to be an EO65, an EO60, because I think that would be really cool. I think those will do cool things for the community at prices that are going to be super aggressive. And the other piece about this is that it gives people a lot of options for plates. Like this has 4 plate options, 5 plate options. So FR4, aluminum, stainless steel, acrylic, and brass. So you have a lot of options there. Try different things. You can feel how different stainless steel is than FR4. Stainless steel is very hard. If you don't know, stainless steel is hard as shit.
And you might even run into, actually not even might, you will run into some pain. At least in my experience, not that that's the worst thing. It can be handled, but I'm looking on their site. Okay, extra parts. Here we go. All right, there it is. So yeah, I was curious to see the prices on some of these things, but yeah, I mean, slam dunk, 75 win. I'm sure soon.
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me if they're just going through everything, but with most of their focus right now is going to be on developing their new, like the 660 style TX, the TX65, the TX60, and those. That's going to be their main thing right now. But I'm sure they're designing it. I'm sure it's coming out soon.
Yeah, and it looks like these have new PCBs. I don't know if these are developed by Ken. I don't know what they will use. I don't know if they're QMK. Does it say? I don't. It does.
It's Liku. That's going to be my only downside.
Are they Liku? It doesn't. They're not.
This says Suo.
Yeah, they're not.
But they're also.
they're designed by Kin. They're not
Oh.
Liku PCBs, so
Well,
I
there you
don't
go.
know if they are going to be
Jigon.
because Jigon sucks.
Hmm.
Upas
Yeah,
bought the
it
wrong
looks like
one.
it'll be.
I'm sorry,
It'll look,
Upas. Did you get Crystal or did you get Frosted? Because they both look pretty cool. Although I think Frosted looks much better. Crystal is. There you go.
yeah, Frosted. I think we've passed as a society the whole through plastic craze. It was cool when the Game Boy Color came out.
I mean, it looks cool if you have like the pictures where it's all the different colored LEDs and it's just like really small bits of light. It looks kind of like a nebula,
Constellation.
I guess, a constellation. Well, that vibes. But the Frosted looks really cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see what that will look like come May. I'm gonna be a little bit more trusting of Kin's timelines because I think he's probably got that already figured out.
yeah. He's in TX usually pretty quick because he pretty much orders them before. He buys them all out before they even like they run it, and he might make more later, but he's really good about making sure to buy enough for extras, to keep enough for extras, and just get everything sorted beforehand.
Sometimes you can do what I did when I got my TX60 and just message him on Geek Hack and be like, "Hey, do you have one of these?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, sure. Here's an invoice."
Yeah, man. Just give me like 20 minutes. Ken's a great dude. We have talked about Rick, our moderator, has actually met him. he went to South Korea and met him, and it was. He said it was a great experience, but that his English was not. It would not be good enough to do on a live show. We've talked about potentially doing maybe having something prepared to do like an interview with him, but it's tough with language barriers. But just know, like the TX guy, even if you don't like his stuff, he's a good dude. Like he makes awesome boards, and I really don't think that this hobby would. I think TX boards, I believe, are very important to this hobby. I think there are a lot of people that find their niche and when they get their TX board. So
your bias is
they
showing.
Not whatever, dude. My bias is showing, but TX60 is a fantastic board.
It is,
and I think that there's a lot of boards out there because they've been around for so long. There are a lot of boards out there that I think took a lot of help from the TX line.
Yeah, I mean that original TX line, it was a great baseline, especially at the time that they were released. It was a great this is a good board. It's not insane. It's not amazing. This is a good board. Yeah, we could bring on Popcorn. It's in the US.
Should bring on Popcorn.
But yeah, the TX line was a great middle of the road. Yep, it's not crazy expensive. It's kind of in the middle. You spend $400, you get well worth your money. I think the cases have almost been like an iconic piece of the community now too. I think everyone's like, man, I want more cases like that. So I'm excited to see what they do with this. I think the EO line, if they do bring it to the smaller segments, I think even an EO CP would be pretty freaking cool too. I know they did the HJ, which just ran the HJ CP and HJ 75, which were even cheaper. But those were full acrylic with aluminum top. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff that's coming out of TX right now.
Yeah. So if you guys have any questions for us, chat. We're gonna run through just very briefly the sponsors: Dixie Mech, Switch Mod, Zap, and Project Keyboards. Be sure to check those out. Switch Mod's running Metaverse, with Project Keyboards running Perestroika and Modern Dolch Lite. from Mr. Dixie Mech, and then get your brackets in. We've got some fun stuff planned for that. Krellbit, thank you for the sub, my dude. Also use Metaverse / Chewy, just cause.
Sure. Get $5 off Metaverse. It's a couple days. It ends on the 22nd. I was thinking it ended tomorrow, but it's the 22nd.
Yeah, so 5 days. Yep.
Get it to 1,000. Get it to 1,000.
So and it looks like I got a message, and it looks like it's tied right now. There is a tie between you and myself, you and I's discount codes. So be sure to check it out. I do Japanese Horror Rider. Thank you for bits. I do use beard oil, but I only use it after I wash it. I don't use it like. It's not 0-0, I swear. It is at least 1-1.
Dude, man,
it's close.
It's close. I was not.
It's close, but by it's close, I mean awesome that we're tied.
We're tied. I was not expecting that. I'm not gonna lie. I was totally expecting Chewy to blow it out of the water, and it was gonna be like a landslide. But
so I found out that Colt flipped a coin.
Did he?
And you got his from Colt.
It's my boy.
So if you tie, you both lose and have to shave your beards. Well, I don't think the beards were ever at stake. I think Homeboy has.
I think if we both shaved our beards, the
subscriber
we would look. Well, we would go from looking like we're adults to looking like we're children.
Yes,
because we both have. I think we both have pretty baby faces when we have bare faces. It's been a while since I've seen you shaved, but
you've never seen me shaved because
I'm not full shaved, but I've seen you close. I've seen you
close
enough to imagine it. Babies on deck.
I have not been clean. My wife has never seen me clean shaven. Most of the people I know and hang out.
It's true.
March of 2011. So 9 years, coming up on 9 years.
I shaved my face like once. When I got my job that I have now, they were like, yeah, you can't have a beard. And I shaved it, and they told me I could have a goatee, but not a beard. And I was like, that makes 0 sense, but okay. So I shaved to a goatee, and I was like, I know it's not much different than what I have right now, but I didn't like the way it looked. And I shaved it fully, and I was like, yep, nope. I'm just going to grow the beard, and they're just going to have to deal with it. And then like 2 weeks later, my boss had a full beard, and so it was fine then. And to answer Upas's question, I wear a size extra large in t-shirts.
Boom. We can announce it now.
We can.
I mean, why not? Upas, Mr. Cannon Keys. We don't have the logo up. Cannon Keys is our newest sponsor. I believe the code, if I'm not mistaken, is cannonkeys.com/mechsondeck. I'm going to look that up just to make sure. Yep, cannonkeys.com/mechsondeck. So thank you for sponsoring us. Be sure check out. Was it? I just keep calling it GMK Tiffany, but it's Finer Things.
GMK Finer
as well
Things.
As Cat Lucky Jade. But yeah, Finer Things currently in group buy, as well as Cat Lucky Jade. So interesting. I'm very excited to see some of the insane, bright. I'm excited to walk in to a meetup and see a white Satisfaction 75 with Finer Things on it, and it's going to be beaming from the other side of the room.
I think that's one of my things I'm most excited for about KeyCon is because hopefully by July, a lot of these sets that have run in the past couple months, like when we've had 15, 16 sets, we're going to get to see all of those in person. The ones that we didn't get on, like a set that I want to see, Vaporwave, right? Like I saw the whatchamacallits, the samples of Vaporwave, and I was like, that looks like it came out really, really well. And I can finally see Handerbite in person. And maybe get an extra. Who knows?
Cafe might be out.
Cafe
if we're still going on time. 8008. Well, you're gonna.
Yeah, I'll have 8008. But
But
there's a lot of stuff that like I was like, maybe that I'll get to see and enjoy at KeyCon. But yes, thank you to Canon Keys. And unfortunately, no, it does not get you a discount, but it does help us out a little bit. So check out GMK Finer Things and Cat Lucky Jade, which was not designed by Rensuya, Chewy. Not Rensuya.
No, Rensuya's girlfriend.
Rensuya's girlfriend.
He was designed by Team Rensuya and Co.
Team Rensuya and
Co. So, but no, I had a really good conversation. So he's a fun guy. Be sure to support him. 159. Thank you for the 1,000 bits.
Yeah, y'all were having that great conversation. I was like in the middle of like just starting my day at the Overwatch League event, and I was like, "Hey guys, I'm using Discord."
I was talking about Rensuya.
Oh,
I was talking with you. We were talking with you, Pat, and having a lovely conversation about.
You're fine. You pass.
Y'all had just no idea. Dude, shut the fuck up.
I was just like, hey, I'm using Discord because we had a Discord for all the people. I was like working with like 50 people, so it was. I was getting Discord messages.
Get it on a group.
Yeah,
it's all good. You get used to the whippings and lashings of Cyrus screaming at you all the time. No, but what I've completely blanked on what I was even looking up at this point. But no, I was gonna look up who else is streaming right now. It is about 9:30. Like I said, if you have I am you are you. Also, not to hate, but good lord, every top streamer on the front page is a workout streamer. I feel like the world's trying to tell me something. So, but no, thank you. We're gonna go hit up I am me, you are stream. Thank you guys for a fantastic stream. So it feels bad, absolutely. Thank you guys for a solid stream. This video will be up in the next day. Jeremy57, hello. If you have a question, I'll happily answer. Mod workout stream. If you want to see me throw up, I can lift an incredible amount of weight once.
Mechs on Deck just dance stream. I feel like
I can. Okay, I can listen.
All right, no.
Fuck your shit up on Just Dance.
All right, no. So here's the thing. The next time we do like a 24-hour or like a subathon, things like that will be the goals.
Oh yeah.
Like if we get to certain numbers,
I can do. There's like at least 6 Just Dance because I work with sped kids and they like to. And so a lot of times we like to work on motor mechanics, and that's great for them because they get to do like follow along and do the movements. And some of them are just unfortunately we're not born with some of the same privileges as the rest of us. And I can tell you, I can get up and do Justin Bieber's Power without even looking at the video. I can guarantee you I can get 100%. You can blindfold me and I can just do it by the audio. I've seen that literally 400 times.
I think Sped Kids is proper. I think that's the... Oh.
Show us. I'll make you a private video. Just
Thank you, 159, for the 1,000 bits. We appreciate it.
Doubt. Go for it. Maybe if we... maybe. I had an idea.
Okay.
We'll have to talk about it.
Chewy with the private snap. Dude, Chewy's going to... He's going to have an OnlyFans account here soon.
Yeah, exactly. Bed kids, it's just special education kids. It's the same as saying a gen ed kid or general education kid. So... If you have questions about what is and is not I'm happy to discuss it. But show us your moves. Seems wrong. Prove it doesn't. Oh man, no, it's absolutely no mercy. The one that hurts the most is Daddy by Psy. That one hurts the ankles because you have to like jump in a really awkward way. And then what's the one? It's Shakira, not Shakira. Who did the Super? Was it Shakira that did the Super Bowl?
Shakira and J-Lo.
All right, so there's the one that's Waka Waka. That's the one that
Shakira.
I have to tell people to not do because they like climb up on top of each other in the middle and they make a bicycle out of humans. And then my kids are like, "Oh, we're gonna try it," and I'm like, "Oh, fuck no, you're not."
I'm not going to the hospital today.
So, but anyway, we're gonna go hit up. Oh god, now I just want to do here. This is what we're gonna spam. We're gonna spam this for Mr. I am me, you are you.
The one, the only, the OG homie. I am me.
So get those Waka Wakas ready. We're gonna go raid him.
He's gonna think we're talking about Waka Flocka Flame. Maybe. I don't know. Waka Flocka. Pow, pow, pow. All right. Y'all have a good night.
Shows your moves. Waka Waka. Well, I have an idea that we're gonna probably Wednesday.
Okay.
After Osiris. After I clear it with Osiris. Or I'll just announce that he didn't like the idea and we'll do it. Anyway, thank you guys. Check out I Am Me, You Are You. And we'll see you tomorrow. Same time, 8 p.m. Central.
Bye now.